Hi, my name is Olivia Sanchez, and I'm choosing to do my my grandfather, Gildardo Vasquez Sanchez, as the person I'm choosing to remember for Dia de los Muertos. My grandfather passed away when I was 8 in 3rd grade. I do remember being at school and my parents coming to pick me up. All of us, there's 7 of us, to travel to Greenfield where he was living at the time. My parents and my grandparents came from San Diego, and they moved to Greenfield, which is Monterey County. A lot of the things that I do remember about my grandfather were he was a great chef. He loved to cook. He was always cooking different things. I know that there's things that my dad doesn't like to eat, but he did try because they were made from him. I am someone who grew up loving to cook, and I had the hand for it. My abuela, his wife, always told me, she would always put me in the kitchen, and she would be one to be like, here, learn how to do this. And I just naturally caught on, and I think it's because I had his hand. So my grandfather passed away from a clot in his brain. Back in the days, obviously smoking and alcohol were it wasn't really brought to attention as much as to where it is now. So those eventually led to him having that aneurysm in his brain. In his passing, it was definitely hard on my dad, for sure, because my dad was still young. I mean, I was 8 years old, so it was about 20 years ago. My dad was still in his 30s, and my grandfather was young. But my grandfather was a family person. He was always giving. He believed where one could eat, all could eat. He wasn't a person he was always someone to lend his hand out, even if you didn't do the same. And I think a lot of those qualities were passed on to my dad, who were passed on to me as a person. So I know that every time we go to Greenfield, he is buried in Greenfield Cemetery. And he's actually buried next to one of his sisters, which is good. And so on Dia de los Muertos, my son is actually born, and I name my son after my grandfather Gildardo. So my son's name is Jorge Gildardo. And I think that for me, we aren't as traditional as far as making ofrendas or anything like that, but we do have pictures up in the household, and we always, every time I pass by a cemetery, it's the thing that me and my kids do, is we always do the sign of the cross, and we bless and we pray for everybody who has passed away, and just for the remembrance. So not just on that day. On that day, it's just a day we just celebrate the idea of them, and we don't do anything super traditional. But yeah, so the person that I was remembering this year was my grandfather, and may he rest in peace, and God bless him. Thank you.